How's it going, guys? My name's Evan, and welcome to episode 21 of my poker vlog. We are here outside Maryland Live, going to be hopping into some 1-3. And just a quick update on the channel before we get into it. Instead of Evan Stort Paul Poker, it's now going to be ESP Poker. That's what people call me, and I just feel like it's a little cleaner, a little easier to search, and should just help out the channel. And with that being said, let's get into it. We make our way into the poker room. There's a ton of tables running, and we buy in for the max, which is 400. First interesting hand comes when we pick up pocket 10s in middle position. There's a $6 under the gun straddle, and I decide to make it 20. We end up getting 3 calls, so we see a flop 4 ways that comes 9-9-4 with 2 clubs. I decide to bet 45 here and only get a call from under the gun. So we see a turn card heads up that comes the 7 of hearts, putting 2 flush draws on the board now. I decide to bet 50 here. I wish I went a little bigger to be charging those flush draws he could have. But anyways, he does make the call, and we see a pretty gross river. It comes the 8 of clubs, bringing in the front door flush. On this card, he now leads into me for $100. I hate poker. Like, what am I supposed to do here? There's just so few hands that I beat for value that he could be betting with. He could have some bluffs here, but I just can't find many hands that I can beat. So after thinking it through, I do wish I called, but I ended up making the fold. On to the next one. Just wanted to say a huge thank you to 500 subscribers. I really appreciate the support. One of my goals with this channel is to eventually play in a live stream. So if you keep supporting me, I'll make that happen. Anyways, back to the poker. So here in middle position again, we look down at an absolute premium 6-9 suited. I make it 15 to go, and we end up getting 1 call from the small blind. We see a flop heads up that comes ace-jack 4 with 1 club. He checks it to me, I bet 20, and he ends up making the call. So we see a turn card that is pretty much a blank. It's the 2 of hearts. He checks it to me, and I decide to slow down here and check it back. The river now comes to 4 of diamonds. He checks it to me once again. So I don't really know what I was thinking at the moment. The one thing on my mind was, I'm probably not good with 9 high here, so I might as well take a stab at it. So that's what I do. I bet $40 here as a bluff, and he snap folds. Obviously, when we play 6-9 suited, we gotta show the bluff. After running card dead for a bit, I decide to add on for another 100. First interesting hand after adding on, we look down at queen jack suited in middle position. I make it 20 to go, and it gets over to a lady who just sat down, and she 3-bets it to $40. The player to the right of her calls, and getting a good price here. I'm just not sure if she has such a good hand 3-betting her first hand sitting down. So I decide to make the call. We go to a flop 3 ways where I absolutely whiff. She continues. I decide to fold, and she ended up having pocket kings. So not too long later, we pick up the exact same hand in middle position, queen jack of clubs. The player to the right of me makes it $13. I decide to just make the call, and another player makes the call. Just a side note, the player that raised has been playing very tight. I saw him limp with ace king earlier. So we go to a flop 3 ways that comes queen 10-7 with 1 club. The pre-flop raiser now bets $30. And I'm not sure if I'm ahead here, but I think for that price, I'm going to at least call once. So that's what I do. I make the call, and the other player folds. We see a turn card of an offsuit 8. So any 9 would give us a straight here, but that's about it. He bets $30 again. And at this point, I just know I'm beat. He's way too tight of a player to be betting twice with any hand worse than queen jack here. But for some reason, I guess I thought I was getting a good price, so I decided to make the call. The river's no help, it comes a 4. He bets small to $25. And I just know he is milking me for every last dollar this hand. I know I'm beat, but being very frustrated, I decide to make the call. And of course he shows king queen. So here in middle position, we look down at ace 4 spades. I make it 15 to go, and we end up getting 4 callers. So going 5 ways to a flop that comes 4 high somehow with 2 clubs. When it checks to me, I decide to bet 35 here, looking to get value from hopefully any straight draws or possibly any club draws. But no one seems to have anything, as everyone decides to fold. Here in the cutoff, I look down at 6-9 of hearts. I decide to make it 10, and I really need to stop playing this hand. But we end up getting 3 calls here. So we go to a flop 4 ways that comes 9-3-3 with 2 diamonds. pretty good flop when you play 6-9. I decide to bet 20 here, and we only get one call, the player to my left. The turn brings an offsuit 8. I decide to slow down and check it, and now he bets 20. For that price, I decide to make the call. The river comes the 2 of diamonds, bringing in the front door flush. I decide to check it, and now he bets 50 this time. I am not a big fan of my hand at the moment. I can't find many hands that he would be betting for value here that are worse than mine. So I go pretty deep into the tank here. I think it over, and I just don't think I'm ahead here. After some thought, I just don't think there's a big chance he's bluffing here, so I decide to release my hand. At this point, my stack was low, I couldn't get anything going, and I just didn't feel like adding on for more, so I thought the best move was to leave. Well, we were in for 500, out for 158 for a loss of 342. Honestly, played all right, just couldn't get anything going. Made a few poor decisions, but other than that, just not much going on for me. This brings our 21 episode total to $1,920. Can't complain about that. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.